1. Now, in for John Peel, Robert Smith.
I was wondering how they were going to do that live. Those are Cure, and that's called Grinding Halt. And the band was so stung by Paul Morley's vigorous condemnation of their LP in the New Musical Express that they've taken the unusual step of retaliating on the air. This is not something we want to see happen very often, but using the same music, The Cure now, and desperate journalist in ongoing, meaningful review situation.
25 years later, I'm back on the John Peel Show. This is Robert Smith, singer and guitarist in The Cure. I've been invited to stand in for John for one night. It's a very difficult ask. It's gorgeous to be back on the airwaves. That was a cassette that my dad made, actually, of the second John Peel session that we ever did, in, I think, May of 1979. I hadn't heard that for almost, I don't know, last month. I asked them if they had anything at home that I could use for an extras disc, and they pulled out a suitcase of old cassettes, and that was on one of them. 1979. Shakedown, 1979. First of those two songs was Smashing Pumpkins with 1979 from the Melancholy album. Second one was Joy Division with She's Lost Control. That was a Peel session, also from 1979. The John Peel sessions were like lifeblood to people like me in those days, living out in places like Crawley, Newtowns, out in the sticks. It was incredible, the anticipation of sessions by people like the Banshees and the Buzzcocks, Elvis Costello and the Damned and the Stranglers. It was like right through from that punk period all the way through for me to like the early 80s. It was a real kind of sense of being part of something growing and getting better and better. Absolutely lovely. Meanwhile, 10 years down the line, there was this. First of that sensational pair was the Pixies, with Monkey's Gone to Heaven from 1989. At the start of a fantastic time in music, which we'll come back to hopefully a bit later on. And then Led Zeppelin with Communication Breakdown. 20 years earlier, 1969. One of 7 kind of seminal artists or songs that I'm going to play tonight, if I get the time, that were a huge influence on me growing up. It's hard to spot, I think. Right, another bunch of heavies. First song of those two was the Deftones, the awesome Deftones with Minerva. That was from last year, and that was followed by the Luminous Cranes, the Cranes with Jewel, which was 10 years before that, 1993. The next song is also from 1993, though it's probably happenstance. This is one of the best songs. It's always going to be in my top 10. And this band will always be in my top 10, probably even higher than my top 10, if I was being honest. This is Nirvana with Heart-Shaped Box. Splendid, as John Peel would say. This is Robert Smith, the singer and guitarist with a band called The Cure, stepping in for the great man. The next two songs that I'm going to play, the next two of 7 seminal artists and songs that I hope to get through tonight, that have influenced me hugely over the years. The first one is by someone that I was lucky enough to meet and sing with. It was like a dream come true. I only had a few ambitions. This is one of them that you know, I can't say anymore. I'll start to fill up. This is Davy Bowie, Driving Saturday. That was Davy Bowie with Driving Saturday and the sensational Alex Harvey band with Swampsnake, both from 1973. Both Davy Bowie and Alex Harvey were innovators, totally individual, very other in some way, hugely influential on me in lots of different ways. And 30 years on, I still find myself moved by things like this. The genius of Mogwai with Killing All the Flies, the gorgeousness of Tricky with Moody, and the glamour of Placebo with The Bitter End. 3 songs from last year, 3 fantastic artists. Next couple of songs up are 2 more of the 7 that I hope to get through that had a huge influence on me doing what I do. Both songs, again, this is coincidental, from 1966, when I think I was probably about 7 years old, depending what month these 2 songs were releasing. The Beatles and the Rolling Stones. First song, Eleanor Rigby. This is Robert Smith, singer and guitarist in The Cure, standing in, if that's possible, which of course it isn't, for John Peel. That was the Beatles with Eleanor Rigby, and the Rolling Stones with Paint It Black from 1966, both huge influences on me. The use of stereo in those songs is so excellent. It's like when they discovered like left and right stuff going on. It's something that maybe has been forgotten. The next 3 songs I'm going to play don't have very much in common with each other that they were released in consecutive years, and now I've kind of changed from like a 15-year-old into a 17-year-old, which, as everyone knows, is a very important part of your life. Paint It Black. I think that when I put these songs together, maybe in the back of my mind I was thinking, right, what is the most Paint It Black song that I can think of? There are a few, but the first one of these 3 is a song that I hadn't heard for a long, long time. And I dusted the CD off, put it on, and I was in floods of tears by the end of it. So, see what you think. This is Janis Ian, Tea and Sympathy.
I don't want to ride the milk train anymore.
Yes, that's like my own little TARDIS journey through those 3 years. Lots went on. Right, I've been handed some email stuff that's going on. I've gradually kind of got to terms with this system, the very teched up John Peel system that they use here. It says Bob, so I assume that's aimed at me. Question, can you do an impression of John Peel, brackets, bearing in mind it has to start with the words, I remember the first time I met / saw / heard ... close brackets. Right, I'll try. I remember the first time I met, saw, heard both of these next bands, but I haven't got anecdotes like John Peel's got. This is Robert Smith, singer and guitarist with The Cure, standing in for John Peel. Another 2 great songs from last year. That was the delicious AFI with Girls Not Grey, and the very dazzling Blink-182 with Down. The next 3 are inspiring songs for me, sung by 3 very inspiring singers. And what more could anyone want? Loud, breathtaking. They work well together, those 3. I knew they would because I tried those at home. That's the Cocteau Twins with Lorelei, My Bloody Valentine with I Only Said, and the Sneaker Pimps with Low Place Like Home. There's a web link that I'm going to read out. Go to John Peel's homepage, www.bbc.co.uk/, I think they were saying radio, like it's going to be any other kind of / Radio 1. Full track listing will be there with album details too. The next 2 examples of different kinds of Saturday night. We had a drive-in Saturday a bit earlier in the show. I couldn't even say that. This is a crashing one, but first it's a You Missed one.
I gassed her and a weed with your arm around your sweet one, your old smoke.
Both those songs make me really happy and sad. Happy, sad. It's weird what music does to you. That's Tom Waits with Looking for the Heart of Saturday Night and Supergrass with Alright. The next few songs, I could seriously have filled the whole programme with bands that I've enjoyed just from like last year and this year. I mean, this summer we spent with a lot of groups on a thing called the Curiosa Festival, and the next sounds you're going to hear are from some of the bands that played with us in the summer.
We came, we played, we drifted away. We came.
That was Interpol from their 2002 album, Turn on the Bright Lights. What a fantastic album that is. The new album could be even better. Make up your own minds. Before them, Scarling with Crispin Glover. And before them, the Cooper Temples with New Toys. 3 bands of many that played with us this summer on the Curiosa Festival. I didn't have time to play Rapture, Thursday, Muse, Cursive, Aftermath, Head Automatica. I mean, I could have almost done with another hour just for the Curiosa bands. Oh, they will forgive me, I'm sure. Next up, 6 of my 7 seminal artists that I'm just about got enough time to get through. I don't know what I'm going to say really about Nick Drake, other than this song gave me the idea for the name of my group, Time Has Told Me. That was Nick Drake with Time Has Told Me from 1970. This has been Robert Smith, singer and guitarist with The Cure. Thank you very much to John Peel for inviting me. It's been a pleasure. I wish I had another 2 days. I wish I had another week, actually. Thank you all very much for listening. I've saved the 7th and final seminal artist and song, the person that's like had the most impact on me in my life, until last. The best till last, I don't know. It's been a very, very enjoyable couple of hours, and I really would love to carry on, but I have to stop here. After this song is Anne E. Nightingale. This is the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And in case you missed it, that web address again is www.bbc.co.uk/Radio1. Go to John Peel's homepage. You'll find very interesting information about some of the songs that you've just heard. And now, Anne E. Nightingale.
Well, massive respect for Robert Smith for impeccable choice of music singing in for Peely. We should all pile round his sometime, make him stay up all night. All back to mine. No, his.